साथियों नमस्कार। मैं डॉक्टर अमृतांशु आज कुछ जरूरी मसलों पर आपसे बात करना चाहता हूं। यदि हम समाज के विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में, दफ्तरों में, न्यायालयों, नौकरियों, शिक्षा में या कहीं भी जिंदगी की जद्दोजहद के बीच देखें तो हमारी इच्छा होती है कि एक समान अवसर हर व्यक्ति को मिले और हर व्यक्ति को समानता का अधिकार मिले। जिंदगी की हार और जीत में, संघर्षों और उपलब्धियों में, क्या खोया क्या पाया, इन सब में क्या हर एक व्यक्ति को, चाहे वो किसी भी समाज का हो, किसी भी जाति या धर्म का हो, एक बराबर हिस्सा, क्या एक बराबर भागीदारी मिली? लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है। समाज में गैर बराबरी का एक लंबा और सदियों पुराना सिलसिला रहा है। इस गैर बराबरी में किसी को अवसर मिला और किसी को अवसर नहीं मिला। कोई संघर्षों के बीच ठहर गया और कोई तेज दौड़कर निकल गया। मैं बात करूंगा उसके बारे में जो ठहर गया। आखिर वो क्यों ठहर गया और उसके जैसे लाखों लोग। आलम यह है कि उस ठहरे हुए शख्स और उसके समाज के असंख्य लोगों को जगह देने और उसे समाज की मुख्य धारा में जोड़े जाने को लेकर इतनी खींचतान क्यों है। मैं बात कर रहा हूं भारत की 140 करोड़ आबादी के लगभग 60% यानी 84 करोड़ लोगों की, जिसे भारतीय संविधान ने अन्य पिछड़े वर्ग के नाम से पहचान दी। इन 60% पिछड़े लोगों में शिक्षा का स्तर क्या इतना कम है कि जिधर देखिए वहीं उनकी संख्या अत्यंत कम दिखती है या नगण्य दिखती है? भारत सरकार के ग्रुप ए यानी क्लास 1 में इनकी भागीदारी को देख लें, या फिर बैंकों में उच्च कार्यपालकों की श्रेणी में इनकी भागीदारी को देख लें, विश्वविद्यालयों में एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर या प्रोफेसर के विभिन्न पदों पर देखें। आखिर ओबीसी इतने कम क्यों दिखते हैं यहाँ? यही नहीं, न्यायालयों की जजों की संख्या में भी ओबीसी की भागीदारी बहुत कम है। आखिर कारण क्या है? आइए इसी मुद्दे पर मैं आज बात करूंगा भारत के जाने माने समाजविद, लेखक, ओबीसी वॉइस के संपादक, ऑल इंडिया ओबीसी एम्प्लॉइज फेडरेशन के महासचिव और तमिलनाडु सरकार में रिजर्वेशन मॉनिटरिंग कमेटी के माननीय सदस्य श्री जी करुणानिधि से।
Friends, myself, Dr. Amritanshu, Organizing Secretary of AIOBC Employees Federation. Today, I am much privileged to have an interaction with Sri G. Karunanidhy, who is a social activist, writer, editor, and General Secretary of AIOBC Employees Federation. I welcome you, Sri G. Karunanidhy, sir. So, sir, you are an icon for social justice movement. You are representing OBC employees associations in almost 50 central government and state government public sector units called AIOBC Employees Federation. You have raised your voice against improper representation of OBC people in class 1 group A services in government of India. You have filed an RTI and data shows that it is only 4 to 5%. Similarly, in teaching post at associate professor level and professor level posts, the number of OBC, even SC, ST people are very less. As per your data, RTI shows that it is very less, below 10%. Further, we know that there is no reservation in promotion for OBC employees in government services. In such a situation where OBC people are not elevated in due numbers, here we mean due numbers, that is 27%. As Government of India has fixed 27% reservation in all direct recruitments. So we can set 27% as a benchmark. I want to know that are you having any strategy to meet the Government of India and put your demand for the share of entitlement of OBC people in all the departments, including banks, at all the level of officers and executive posts? Initially, I want to know for the banks, as in nationalized banks, at CGM and GM level post, OBC representation is very low. So, as an intellectual activist, Sri G. Karunanidhy, what is your views?
Thank you, Dr. Amritanshu. I am very happy that you have raised a very important question. The answer is very, very simple. The solution lies in our implementing the Constitution in letter and spirit. The Constitution itself says that there should be adequate representation of the backward classes in the services of the state. So when the question of adequate representation comes, means that the benchmark of 27% which you are claiming should be an adequate representation, not only at the lower level of the government services or in the public sector undertakings or in the judiciary or in media or even in private sector. Adequate representation itself means that there should be a minimum level of representation for all the sections of the society, particularly the backward classes, which the Constitution very clearly mentions in its article. The second article is Article 340 of the Constitution. It says the government has to constitute a commission to investigate and have measures for the betterment and advancement of the socially and other educationally backward classes. So as per the Article 340 of the Constitution, the Government of India constituted two commissions so far. In 1953, Kaka Kalilkar Commission, he gave the report, but it was not considered by the government, it was shelved. The second Backward Class Commission, headed by B.P. Mandal, constituted in 1978, it came into existence in 1980, report was given, but not implemented for 10 years. Thereafter, B.P. Singh, he initiated for 27% in state government services. In 2006, UPA government, it implemented 27% reservation in education. But the Mandal Commission recommendation is not only confined to reservation in state services and education. It has got very many recommendations. It has recommended reservation in promotion, reservation in private sector, reservation in judiciary, and also distribution of wealth to all the communities. It should be done. That is the fundamental recommendation of the Mandal Commission. What we have seen so far is only two portions of the recommendations of Mandal Commission have been implemented. One in job and another in education. Even that also, the implementation has not been implemented in letter and spirit. For the name's sake, they are implementing the recommendations at the lower level of services of the government, whereas the top services of the government remain still unrepresented for the backward classes. The reason being, there is no reservation in promotion, which has Mandal Commission has recommended. So the government has to take measures for this, but the Parliament has not decided so far. So naturally, the representation of the backward classes will be like this only. So the full implementation of the Mandal Commission will be the real solution. But apart from that, in legal point of view also, the minimum 27%, as you said, you call it as share of entertainment, that has to be given at all the levels. That is a very fundamental thing which all the people have to think about it and work for that, for which our national level federation, we are working on that. We are continuously demanding that there should be reservation promotion and full implementation of recommendations of the Mandal Commission in judiciary and private sector. So all these things require a continuous and consistent effort, not only by the backward class employees, but by the members of the Parliament and members of the legislative assemblies belonging to the backward classes, scheduled castes and tribes together, so that naturally the minimum level of 27%, that is the share of entertainment, reaches to the backward classes at the top level. The data as given by the government shows that in top levels, it is very negligible and pathetic. In many of the sectors, the representation is zero. Still, even after 75 years of independence and almost 30 years of implementation of the reservation, 27% reservation in jobs and services in the state government and the central government, still the top level, Group A positions, secretary level positions, and likewise in the judiciary, High Court judges, Supreme Court judges, like that in the legislature also, in many of the states, the representation of backward classes is not even to the extent of 27%. So the real solution lies in giving reservation promotion so that the top level positions can be filled at least after 25 years. And in every till such a time, the share of entertainment which the zone of consideration that is being given for the when these backward classes are also in that zone of consideration, there is every chance of also that in the course of years the representation can improve. This is one part of implementation. And reservation promotion by amending the constitution will be the best solution. And wherever there is reservation or wherever there is promotions exercise, there should be adequate representation of the backward classes, for which we have to continuously work. We have to educate the members of the parliament. We have to impress upon the government that unless you do it, the representation will be very much pathetic, and that is not the real social justice. So if you are serious about the constitution, then you please ensure that adequate representation of the backward classes is ensured, so that they will also get justice. So this will be our continuous strategy, for which we should all collectively work together. I think that will be one of the methods to attain social justice for the backward classes. Thank you.
Yeah, one more thing I want to know, sir. Actually, now government of India has given constitutional power to the National Commission also, and 10 years ago the Parliamentary Committee for OBC was constituted by the government of India. These two powerful body we are having. In spite of these two powerful bodies protected by the government of India, why the scenario is not going to change?
As you said that there is a constitutional mechanism as National Commission for Backward Classes, which was passed in 2017, but for nearly 2 years or almost 3 years, the commission was not constituted at all. So they subsequently they did it, and by 2 years it was over. Subsequently, now the present NCBC doesn't have a full team. There is only one member and one chairman. So they were not able to effectively function the problems of the backward classes, number one. Number two, Parliamentary Committee for OBC, even though it is constituted with 30 MPs, their visit to various departments has not been completely done so far. They have been doing only in selected areas. Even that also, the report by the committee is not given to the government. Even today also, they have visited so many banks, but many of the banks' report has not been published so far. So we don't know what was the actual position and what the committee is going to recommend for that. So unless the constitution for this committee or commission works diligently and sincerely, we can't expect the results. It is not very easy to dictate the executive system in this country easily, because it is dominated fully by the upper caste. They are not at all interested in this concept of social justice. And Parliamentary Committee being the members of the parliament, constitutional power commission is having. If both the mechanisms work together aggressively, another 10 years we can see a change. But at present it is not happening because it is not functioning effectively.
Thank you, sir. It means we have a long way to go. Our people has to unite. We have to influence the governments by the factual position of the concerns organizations, so that they will consider our demand. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Karunanidhy, sir.
Thank you, Dr. AMRITANSHU. Thank you very much.